Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. This watch is a TAG Heuer Monaco skeleton in DLC titanium, part of a 2023 launch that included several models. This watch features a combination of traditional and avant-garde elements. So it is of the 39mm generation of Monaco chronographs. The original, of course, was a bit smaller and traces its lineage back to 1969, but this is 39 in diameter, 15.3 thick, 47.5 lug-to-lug with a 22mm spacing in between the lugs. The strap, as you could see, is made of rubber, and when I throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see one characteristic of the Monaco that has been essentially the same since Steve McQueen wore one, and that is the fact that it wears large for its rated size. Don't think of this as a 39. Think of it as more of a 42, and you get the general idea. So even though it's short across the wrist, and it is, the impression is of a large watch, and the feel is of a large watch. You can see in profile it's pretty thick. It's probably not going to fit under any kind of a shirt cuff, though a jacket should be fine. The strap, as you can see, has this sort of rubberized textile on the top, and then it's fairly thick cut. You can see it's conventional rubber on the bottom. Note no perforation. So the way this clasp works, you press both triggers to open it, and then you've got this little crimping system. You feed the strap in through that. Let's just pretend that I've fed it through. And then it sits underneath the strap body, so there's no excess length flapping in the breeze, and there's no need for minder loops, and those are minder loops, just so you know what I'm talking about. It's a much cleaner look. The watch is 100 meters water resistant, so though the Monaco has racing associations that are track-based, this is also one you could wear out on the water. Now, it is all grade 2 titanium, media blasted, and covered with diamond-like carbon, which is a very resilient and hard material. You can see that there are some choice character lines built in here, and also that we've got a rather dramatically boxed type of sapphire. So camber is curvature, and then boxing is, for want of a better term, faceting. And you can see here we do have a generously boxed sapphire. You can see the profile of the chronograph pushers as well as the little TAG Heuer logo on the crown. The dial has a little bit of an air of Tron to it, and the Tron link, I believe, is purely circumstantial. But when you turn off the light, it gets even stronger. And you can see how the date down at 6 o'clock is actually backlit by a luminescent panel. It is a skeleton dial. You can see we have sort of that Miami blue going on, as well as what you might describe as either a coral or Miami red. There's a lot happening here. And as you can see, we also have hacking seconds, a quick set date, and then when we move out back, we have what was originally the caliber 80, and it's no longer described by that nomenclature. Now they tend to describe it as the TH20. So it used to be the H02, now they describe it as the TH20, and it's just a good-looking movement. You can see it's color-coordinated with the dial. Column wheel, vertical clutch, automatic, 80-hour power reserve, 31mm diameter, 4 Hz beat rate, 33 joules. And you can see it as a combination of Edicron for fine timing adjustment and beat error correction. We've got an eccentric screw micrometric regulator on this side for very fine timing corrections. The silver key is for beat error, the gold key is for timing, that is for micro timing, and then a surprising use of KIF shock protection, something you would have expected to see on an old Rolex movement or maybe a Jaeger-LeCoultre. I should mention that the column wheel feel here is excellent. Sounds good, feels good, and then the vertical clutch is super smooth. It engages without any jump or stagger, and if you like, you can leave this 80-hour power reserve watch just running full-time. There's no additional wear and tear with the chronograph on, and with the extra power reserve, you don't have to worry about it stopping overnight. If you just like the aesthetic of center seconds running full-time, you can do that without concern. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.